Well, g'day guys. Currently here doing a bit of contract spraying. Well, I was doing a bit of contract spraying. Kind of thought 2022 might turn out to be maybe not so many breakdowns and things like that, but we've got ourselves a bit of a doozy here. That's meant to be attached up there. So basically, I think that up there must have had a bit of a crack in it that we didn't spot, and yeah, she just let go. Obviously, then that drops down, hit the ground, bent that back, twisted it all up, broke a couple of fittings in there. So yeah, we're not spraying for the minute anyway. Have to come up with some sort of plan. That is not good. But what you can see here is that there has been cracked for quite a while, and it was only hanging on by this bit here. So see, we haven't obviously picked that up when we've checked over the boom last. So yeah, that's a nasty turn of events. So what we're probably going to have to do is try and get a front end loader of some sort, which all three of them are at the development block. Yeah, so that's it's about probably 50 minutes away from where I am now. So yeah, we can't really get one of them here quickly, and they're being used. But what we really need to do is just take the weight of this boom up, try and straighten that bottom bit, just try and bring that around a bit and then lift it up, so at least we can get that top bit close, and then we might be able to weld it up or yeah, put some bracing, and yeah, as long as we can get that bottom bit sorted as well. Yeah, and we've got a couple of fittings that need to be replaced, but hopefully that shouldn't be too bad. I think the rest of it is okay at this stage. While we're waiting to work out what on earth we're doing with the sprayer, yeah, this grader is back, so it's just getting a service. It was working in a nearby property, so it was coming up due, and yeah, just quickly, hopefully can get this service done and get it back out, get it working again. It's been going quite well, I think. I don't think we've had many issues. We did put a chrome exhaust up there just to bling it up a bit. Well, it was only a short visit to visit the grader, but yes, I had to fly back to my place and grab this tractor. All our other front end loaders are at the development block, so we sort of don't have much of a choice. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just put it on a time lapse, because we're going to be busy fiddling around trying to work out what we can do, try a few different things. So yeah, I'm just going to probably put a time lapse on, see what we can do. Well guys, we're slowly getting somewhere. We had a bit of plate that we could yeah, just brace that up, so that's going to yeah, make that a bit more nicer. We'll have to wait till we get into the main shed, and then we can do that a bit nicer, but this should get us out of trouble. Yeah, looks like this down here is still bent quite badly, but yeah, not a lot we can do at the minute. It should hold all right. And then yeah, we just got the fitting here broke off, but yeah, because we can't get a new one right now, we just glued up that. Hopefully that works. But yeah, that's about the worst of the damage. So we've got it all back together. There is just that fitting there which we had to glue up, which we don't think is going to hold, but we're going to try it anyway. Well guys, that fitting didn't hold, so we sort of expected it wouldn't, but it was worth a try. So we just got to wait till shops open up on Monday, and we'll have to try and find one of those fittings, and then we will have to continue. But anyway, that's all we can do for now. Well guys, we had to wait for the shops to open over the weekend, but couldn't find this, but we're able to get something to work. So yeah, I've just had to get T, reducer and reducing elbow, and yeah, this looks like it should all work. So just about to get back into it and then see what the next adventure is. Well guys, it's been about 2 days I think since all the fun and games with the boom, but yeah, we've just been flat out trying to sort out the different spraying we've got to do. Brad's been on the weed it. I've been on the Rogator doing mostly contract spraying, and then we've got a bit of our own spraying to do once I get this tidied off. And yeah, then there's just been dealing with the bunker as well. So yeah, with the bunker, they've got all the grain that we can into the mother bins, chaser bin and the silos, and I think there's about 300 tonne left in the bunker, but we can't do anything with that until we get some trucks coming in to take that. So that'll happen over the next week or so. Yeah, so just trying to tidy up a few things, get a few things fixed, all the fun and games. But yeah, what we're going to do is just give a bit of a summary of how harvest went for us, because if I don't do it now, it's going to be rolling into when we're fertilising, and it'll just get confusing. So basically, the harvest for us was exceptionally good. It was high yield. The quality was pretty bad because of the rain, but the prices stayed up pretty high. So even though, yeah, the quality was bad, we didn't actually notice it a lot as far as the money we got for the crop. We were able to get most of our contract seed production crops off, or enough of them off anyway, to fill the contracts before the rain. So the actual seed that we're selling, yeah, needs to be perfect quality, and obviously with all the rain and that, and once the quality gets diminished or it starts sprouting or whatever, then you can't really sell it for seed. So thankfully we're able to get most of that off before the rain. Now what we didn't get off, that we took a little bit of a hit on, was the chickpeas. We had all the chickpeas set aside for for seed, and yeah, you obviously get a premium when you're selling it for seed. But yeah, with the rain and all of that, I think it ended up being about 5 or 10% was sprouted, and yeah, so it's just not good enough to be able to sell for seed. So we took a bit of a hit on that as far as price per tonne, but it was probably the best yielding chickpea crop we've ever had, even with some of the areas that just didn't come up. But yeah, so all in all, it was exceptional. So yeah, the total tonnes that we harvested, so that's including contracting, was about 15,000 tonnes. So of our own, we got about 9,000 tonnes, or something like that. In a usual year, we might do maybe 10,000. So that just gives a bit of an example of what, yeah, the sort of yields we were dealing with. So yeah, the best of our wheat averaged about 7 tonne to the hectare, which is exceptional. But yeah, all in all, with all the other properties and varieties, the wheat overall averaged about, I think it was a little bit under 6, so still exceptional. So yeah, that's why our tonnes were so high this year. And yeah, with the headers too, it took a lot longer. Obviously, we're processing a lot more tonnes, so it just takes a bit longer. Both headers did about 280 hours each this season. That's rotor hours. And the usual would probably be about 220 each. That's roughly it. So each header did about 60 hours more this season. But yeah, as far as machinery, yeah, just with the conditions this year, with the mud, the rocks, all these other things, it was pretty well like we were doing 2 harvests in one, or even more maybe. It was just hard on the gear. Everything was struggling. As you would have seen through the harvest series, we just were having all sorts of breakdowns, and I wasn't even there to film some of the breakdowns. Most of them were just sort of silly things that you can't really check, or you know, like we went right through both headers before harvest, checked everything we could, had two different people go through and check everything, just spend a good couple days on just checking things. Not only that, we did a lot of work on both headers as far as just things that needed to be fixed. But yeah, we're having things, alternators going. Now, you can't really tell if an alternator bearing's about to go unless you pull the alternator right out and check it. So we had an alternator bearing go. We had a drive coupler for the rotor gearbox. The spline in it had gone. So yeah, that is usually not something you'd ever have to replace, but it just flogged out. It's sort of not a non-serviceable part. But yeah, we had bearing issues where we'd replace bearings literally just before harvest, and then we'd had bearings fail. Yeah, all these sorts of things. We had air conditioning problems, particularly with header number 1, which we've never had air conditioning problems with it before, but just happened to be this year where it decided to play up. But yeah, not only that, we had just tractors, all sorts of other gear. We just, yeah, it just seemed like we were battling this year more than most. So it was, yeah, it was pretty tough. But we, yeah, hopefully we can get on top of it. We're pretty well going to have to go through header number 2 again and rebuild the insides from where the rock went through it. That's after just before this last harvest, we went through and replaced a heap of new stuff because they were worn out after we'd bought it. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But anyway, it is what it is. So we'll get onto it. So yeah, guys, that's just a rough sort of overview of how harvest went for us. We're extremely thankful for how it went for us, and we know that there's plenty of people around that got absolutely hammered with floods and the flood waters. Absolutely, yeah, that'd be heartbreaking to go through that. So we are just extremely thankful, and yeah, and feeling for the fellas that didn't quite get what they expected. But anyway, it is a new year now. We're hoping not as many things break down. Not off to a great start when the boom falls off the sprayer. And yeah, we're just currently really trying to get ahead of the game a bit here. We're literally about 4 weeks behind. So yeah, we're really trying to get into, get this spraying done, obviously, to try to just, yeah, control the weeds. And then we'll be going into fertilising, and we use gas. So we'll be, yeah, getting machinery ready for that, and we'll be starting to gas. Now, obviously, like everywhere else in the world, fertilizer is very expensive. It's pretty well double the price. So there are certain things that we probably aren't going to do that we would usually. Usually we go put a fairly high rate of fertilizer on, and that's obviously how you can produce bigger yields. But yeah, it's just got to weigh up a few things this year at least anyway. So that's where we're at. This will probably be the end of the video. I pretty well just going to be sitting on a sprayer doing boring things for a few days. So keep hitting the like button if you enjoy them, and we'll catch you in the next one.